This temple is unique. I think it's unique in America.
The temple is what every community should be.
I hope the younger people get as much warmth, friendliness, happiness, and Jewish satisfaction from the temple as we had.
I don't know, they must have heard that a Jewish person came, and Elsie Cyril came with a little basket with a napkin over it, and also a bottle of Manischewitz's wine, sweet wine, which is what we all drank, and a house.
And I was not even aware if there was a temple in Melrose. But I made an inquiry or two, and the next thing I know, people came down to my house with a bottle of wine, embraced me, invited me down. And I came down to this building for the first time, and I was a young man, and I never left. I'm still here.
My girlfriend, who lived in Malden, she and her husband owned a variety store at the end of Green Street, and she said, Melrose is a good place. I was sitting out on my front porch, and Joe Dillock drove by. He knew we were Jewish because the people we bought the house from were. And he came up and talked to me, and that was the beginning of it.
We got a visit from Pearl Hurwitz, Art Shanker, and Joe Dillock. They came to visit us.
At your house?
At our house.
Yeah.
They told us that they were conservative leaning. They brought us a mezuzah for our thing.
Yeah.
And they invited us to go to a
We
service.
came here in 1955. Sandra's father, Dave Levine, and mother, Florence Levine, were members of the temple already. And there were folks that came over, bought a loaf of bread. I think that's what they always did for new Jews in Melrose, so to speak. And, our folks joined the temple right away.
My father was in partnership with Eddie Lyons, owning a store on Main Street.
Her father had the local hardware store. If you wanted anything, you just went to see Dave Levine.
He would meet a lot of people that came in, and he asked them if they were Jewish, tell them about the temple.
The house next door to us had a sign outside that said Goldenfield. And so we knew that there were Jews around. And within a month of moving in, the Irving Goldenfield came to the house with Manny Geller and told us about the Melrose Jewish Community Center, which was only $25 to join. And why wouldn't we join? So we did.
There was a sisterhood. There was a brotherhood. There was the guys went golfing. The guys played bowling. The guys played cards one night. And we were just very much together, very much involved in each other's life.
There was a brotherhood, and they would have Sunday morning breakfast most often. They would have a sports figure come and talk to them or something. But from that, the men made a connection. They started playing golf together every Sunday. They had a poker game going once a week for over 20 years.
And the brother and sisterhood committees kept everything more or less social, on the social aspect going, and the religious community kept the activities of the temple going.
We had a speaker from the Reform movement and a speaker from the conservative movement. And the speaker from the Reform movement was dynamic.
Rabbi Schindler came, and he convinced us to have a reform community. We had Larry Kushner, who is now the king of Kabbalah, really.
And we got student rabbis. One of them, years before we became Reform, Dottie Geller had this extremely orthodox rabbi that we'd gotten, God knows from where, and brought his own food and dishes and everything. We did have a rabbi, and he slept, if you remember, in the old building, there was he slept up there.
Upstairs on the second floor, there was a mimeograph machine, and there was a bed, and that's where we put the rabbis.
All the fundraising for the temple was done by the sisterhood then. We had an ad book and rummage sales and stuff like that.
The sisterhood raised all the money for the school. There's the cookbook. I still use it. I don't give it up.
We always had to do extra things to raise money. And so we used to put on variety shows where members of the temple actually performed in these variety shows.
She's so clever. She would take, tunes that we all knew from plays that we knew, and she changed the words and make them Jewish and funny. And yeah, I think we really enjoyed it.
Cal Burnham was director of dramatics at Tufts, and he directed one of the shows, and Doreen, when she came in, played, and I mean, they were just ludicrous.
Another season has just begun, another reason for having fun, and now a greeting, we say hello, another meeting, let's go, go, go. People didn't have to know how to sing or play the piano or dance. They all wanted to be in the show.
What ain't we got? We ain't got days.
The men were in Hawaiian outfits. Wasn't that taken from the concept, that movie, South Pacific? We were trying to act that out with the men being the women dancing with the Hawaiian skirt.
What don't we get? You know damn well.
My father heard about the Oak Manor being for sale and looked into it, formed the committee, and that's when they bought this building.
62 years of memories. I remember like yesterday, over at the Legion Bungalow having services in Sunday school down below. There's a picture of myself, Billy Appledorf, and Barbara White. We were 11, 12 years old probably, going to Sunday school. Yeah. I cherish Billy Appledorf's father, Harry Appledorf. Taught me how to blow the shofar.
Bennett was a nuclear theoretical physicist, and he was on leave from Los Alamos when I met him. We moved to Melrose shortly after we got married, and we chose Melrose because it was a 15-minute drive from where my husband worked. Bennett got very sick, and he needed a lot of blood. And they started a blood bank because of him. And in 1964, the doctor actually said to me, if you can pay for it, we will put him on a kidney machine. If you can't, we will let him die. Between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, this program opened, and he got on the machine. And Bernie Henkin is the one who met me between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, asked me about Bennett, said that he believed in miracles and it was time for your miracle. And I always remember that.
Bernie Henkin was friends with the cardinal, with the priest, with everyone.
The first interfaith gathering that all the faiths were involved took place here at this temple. Once the interfaith movement started, which is about 1962, there was more interrelationship in the community. And we participated as the hosts here for about 6-7 years. And then I became vice president, and they said, what do you think? And I said, another church should do it. We don't mind doing it. And they said the hospitality here was so great, they hated to leave it.
Our next door neighbor had never known anybody of the Jewish faith. And we were the first Jews that she had ever met. And now she now lives in Stamford, Connecticut, and she and Edith get on the phone for an hour and a half at a time talking to each other. They've become very, very, very close friends. And so this is one of the monumental changes that has happened by our being here.
We have Home for the Holidays, and that has made such a big difference in the city of Melrose. When we come down from up the Y, and then they come down to have the latkes. The first time they came in, people said to me, I have never been in here. I've always wondered what it was like inside. People in the community now look forward to coming in every year for the Home for the Holidays, for the latkes and all.
every year we went to the Catskills.
That was wonderful. Sometimes we rented a bus, sometimes we carpooled.
And we used to go on Thursday, and we just have the grandest time and even feel even closer together, especially the gals. The gals felt close because they got rid of the husbands overall at the golf course. One time we hired a bus and we sang all the way up to the Catskills. Can everyone hear? Kindly step to the rear. We're off to Hayman's Hideaway. That's where we separate the men from the boys, the girls from the noise of housework and noisy children. We will have fun with the son of a gun. It is an up and Adam day, etc., etc., etc.
We will never leave this temple.
We'll be back to visit.
It's in us.
Show up on a Friday night. And I don't think we'll ever find a temple in Florida like this.
It is an open, accepting, Hamish, wonderful little place to come and worship.
It needs to preserve Judaism. It's a matter of community and it's a matter of continuing Judaism.
So many families don't have their families around anymore. It's a wider world, and it is, to me, it's like a home. Nobody cared what you did. If anybody was sick,
we were together with everything. We knew what was in each one's heart, home, pocketbook. They were my support group, and I was theirs.
The people were all one big family. And we helped each other in every way that we could, and we just had great times, great times.
Melrose has always been a place of family, and entering us into the Jewish community in Melrose. And I'm delighted that we moved here.
We've been very happy living here and with the temple. My life at Temple Beth Shalom has been one of the happiest components of our lives together as husband and wife.
I'm very happy with the temple, and it was a very big part of my life. It still is in Melrose.